feel like somebody was tapping a microphone saying, "Are you on?" I can't tell. Let's see, weekly thinking. What is that? Longer live. Cancel. Okay, so this must be live. Okay, hello. Cranial Soup. What's on my mind today? I have absolutely no idea what's on my mind today. I don't know, I guess this is going. Tips for going live. Why would they be doing that for me now? Interfaces, hopes, and more. Let's see what more's got. Yeah, comment, pause live. Okay, keeps telling me I'm live. I don't believe it. But we'll go anyhow. Hello, it's Thursday, September 1st. Hey, happy fall, y'all. I know the vernal equinox is at the autumnal. The equinox is like the 22nd of September. I'm well aware of that, but you know, once we get to September, it just feels like summer is gone. Let me put some light on this subject. There we go. That's better. Author Nan Klee here, kind of living in a la-la land today because today it will mark the third day of a week-long county fair that I have a table at, and I'm a little tired, but not too bad yet. I have some notes. I don't want to take too much time with this today because I've got so much on my mind. Let's see, Tuesday the 30th, the Sevier County Fair. I used to do Renaissance fairs, and I'm so used to putting the words Renaissance before fair. Sevier County Fair. You know, typical things, livestock, crafts, little animals. I love the little animals. Games, Ferris wheel, all sorts of fun, zany rides, and they have something called the Main Street Market, which is the building I'm in. It's a red one. And I found out it's a 150-year-old barn. Thank God it has at least concrete floors and not wooden. Sevier County, where I live in East Tennessee, also is the county that Dollywood is in, and it is where the county that Miss Dolly Parton grew up in. I'm going to give a little shout out to Dolly Parton. I know a lot of people don't like her. I'm old enough to remember when she was on Hee Haw and acting like a ditzy blonde, but she still had the pipes. Oh, she can sing. I don't like country and western music. Oh, they don't call that any. I don't like country music that much, but acknowledge talent when it's there. In, let's see, 2016, we had a huge, awful fire in Gatlinburg, which is up in the Smoky Mountains, and it destroyed a lot of the venues for the tourism, and it destroyed a lot of homes and a lot of acreage, misplaced a lot of animals. Of course, people needed help, and Miss Dolly stepped up for her people in her county, and each person or each family that had lost their homes, she gave them $1,000 a month for 6 months to help them get back on their feet again. And the really awesome part of it was, on that last payment, Miss Dolly gave them $3,000 to help them get going. So I have a heart for Miss Dolly. She's done some really incredible stuff with a low-income place, and of course Dollywood, of course, helps the income around here for sure. I've lived here 6 years. So anyhow, this fair is my first attempt at a really large table. I'm not that great about going out and doing things, but my assistant Autumn is doing really good at getting me out and doing things. God, she's a blessing. So I have the first night of the fair. It opened at 5, and they didn't have any of the rides running because the fairest of the fair competition was going on, and a lot of judging in the agricultural and husbandry areas. And I didn't have that many people, but I did sell one book, one Venacti duet. So yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah. The first day, next to me on the right is a table with a dad and his 12-year-old daughter, and they're selling books about homeschooling for parents who want to homeschool. And it's kind of cool, and they're nice people. Well, about an hour before we shut down at 9 o'clock, the little girl, whose name is Chloe, pulls out her violin because she needs to practice, and has a speaker going with background, with the mix that she's playing, and proceeds to give us a concert for 45 minutes. She's quite good with that violin. So that was very, very enjoyable. I actually posted that probably that night. So yesterday I get there and, oh, by the way, it's like 90 degrees and the only thing in this barn is fans, a lot of loud fans. So I get there yesterday and let's see, my yoga instructor was there, stopped by. She bought a book. Another lady, she bought a copy of an Acti Duet, and then her husband was kind of looking elsewhere, and she talked to me about my Dragon Star trilogy, which she really wanted to read, but she didn't want her husband to catch her buying any more books. Sound familiar? Yeah, she was a true bookaholic, and so we made a clandestine kind of agreement. She's got my email. We both live in the same unincorporated area called Sevierville. I'm sorry, Seymour. Sevierville is the county seat. And so she and I are supposed to get together later so she can clandestinely buy the books. It cracks me up, but I understand. Both I and my ex-husband are bookaholics, and yeah, sometimes you really should be spending money on other things and not spend so much, but on this side of it, where I want your money, I want you to buy my books and read my books and review them. I'm not going to try and talk anybody out of it. I mentioned the fairest of the fair contest. I'm not big about those things. Their changing room was in the back of the barn, so we had this parade of lovely women from about 14 to 20 in these evening gowns parading past. That was yesterday. I'm sorry, day before yesterday. And then yesterday they did a lot of pageant for younger kids, including boys, which kind of surprised me. So we had a different parade of kids from about, the youngest had to have been 4, up through about 10 years old, mostly girls, of course. That was kind of fun. I've discovered what's called snowballs, which are like snow cones, but it's crushed a little bit more. And I walked around before we opened and checked out the animal pens and some of that. So I'll get there about a half an hour early tonight. I have to be there at 4, and I'll see what goes on there. Listen, if you're watching this and you know somebody who's interested, I'm about to start talking about writing, and you know somebody might be interested, please share. Cranial Soup is, I come on live at Thursday, noon Eastern time, every week, whether I want to or not. I don't know who's 01345, whatever. These crazy numbered names just kind of join me, but hi, person with all the stuff that ends in double Z. Let's see. I am having fun with fair. The guy on the other side, the left side of me, is selling this concoction for putting on older decks to seal it, and he has this demonstration where he turns the chemicals into a paste and type of thing. He has fun with the kids. He's very amiable and outspoken. His name is Quint, but it's kind of fun sitting next to this guy all day because he's very bright. He's a very good salesman. I'm kind of studying his techniques and how he does things. But like, yesterday he got, he calls out to people, hey, on deck, you got a deck, you got, this concrete to be sealed. And one of the people said, his response was, I need a new one. You can't even get on it. To which I said, I got the guy for you. So yesterday, after these guys didn't want to talk to Quint, I gave him the contact number for my contractor who does all things with me. He's basically put my house back together in the last 7 years, and including building a patio and a deck for me. So I gave these people his number, and then I called him this morning and said, hey, I gave a referral for you. If you get somebody from the fair, that was me. Why not help each other as we go along? Let's see what else is going on. Hi, Mark. And there's an author Mayhem Stories? That's interesting. Hi, welcome. This is Cranial Soup. I do it every Thursday at noon. I've been talking about I'm currently on a 5-day sales table at a county fair in East Tennessee, so I'm having a lot of fun with that. I don't know what else to tell you. It's, obviously my head has been getting this thing all ready to go for this week-long marathon, is the best way I can say it. 7 days on a table from 3 o'clock till 9 o'clock every night is pretty long and interesting. Plus, as hot as it is, and the humidity, and the fact that I'm an old fart, you can see the silver hair. I'm 70 years old, so I get tired more easily. But there's snow cones and animals and bunnies, and I'm having fun. Of course, the goal is to get my name out there, get people interested, getting talking to me. Another one last night is a young author, and I was telling him about one of my books that is mature audience for sex and violence. And he said, well, that don't do me any good. I'm gay. And I said, well, you can always look at the techniques and see what happens with them. Why not? He asked me if I'd ever collaborated or if I've ever wanted to collaborate with another author. And that was an interesting thing. I never even thought of a collaboration. I mentor. I do a lot of mentoring, have across the years since my master's is in rhetoric and writing. But that kind of caught me off guard. I hope he gets back to me because, first off, he bought a copy of An Acty Duet. And I'm not sure. I use a PayPal type of payment system for credit cards. And I have a bad feeling it didn't go through. Not that I wouldn't like to give a book away. But, sometimes I don't. Hi, Stephanie. Glad you can join us. And right in the middle of that, I thought of something else to say, and of course, no, I can't think of it. What was it? Oh, well, aside from, as I said, I'm already tired, and I've got 4 or 5 more days to go. When all that's over, I am going to have 2 days to catch my breath, put everything away, and pack again, because I will be going to Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, for a women's weekend event. I'm an alumni of that. That's where I got my bachelor's degree. And I'll be sleeping in my car in the driveway of a friend of mine who I went to Navy Reserves with. Looking forward to seeing Bob. But sleeping in my car will be interesting. I have camped a couple of times now. I am 5 foot tall. I weigh 120 pounds. I am not a big person. And I have a Prius, so when I drop the back seat, I can lay a couple pads in my sleeping bag down, and I fit in there comfortably. So all I really need to do is I bring a fan I bring an extension cord and a fan and a heating pad to keep my comfort zones where they need to be. So I can do that. I'm going to be camping in my friend's driveway for 3 nights through the weekend after Labor Day, I guess that is. And then I've got another group of people who want to talk to me about audio dubbing. If any of you have any information about audio narrations that you've had, good or bad, please let me know. Put it in the comments or such so I can find that out. Let's see, who's that? Okay. Oh, I know. Getting on to talking about writing. I know that some people's favorite conversation is, what do you do with writer's block? And I've shared this before, but I'm getting a larger group coming online for my live Cranial Soup. So, excuse me, I wanted to revisit that about how I handle writer's block. First, I want to say there's a whole lot of difference between can't write and don't want to write. Currently, I don't want to write. My world is so full of marketing and guest appearances and book sale tables and that sort of thing that that's where my focus is. And when I focus, oh boy, do I focus. So I have just let the concept, I've got 9 books. I got to get those moving. I said 9, I'm in the 9th. I've got 8 books published. I want to get those moving. I am an indie author. So I've been focused really heavily for the last 3 months about those sort of things. That's when I got on TikTok and got myself a YouTube channel and all that fun stuff. One of the reasons I'm capable of doing these things, when I was in the Navy, I worked on flight simulators, which were all computers, so I can carry on pretty good there. Who's that? Her EO9? Hello, welcome. I'm not sure what that is. So anyhow, right now for me, I'm not concerned with writer's block, but I know that a lot of people deal with it. And it just occurred to me, think of the first Star Wars movie that came out, The New Hope. And at one point, Leia says to Vader early in the movie, the more you squeeze the governments and people, the more they'll fall through your fingers. And I think that's true of a lot of things, stress being one of them. But in the case of writer's block, if you fight the writer's block and you sit down at your computer, or if you're free writing on paper, whatever, I'm going to write, I'm going to get some on this page, you're only going to squeeze it harder and it'll fall out. Just like Princess Leia said to Vader. If you've got writer's block and you can say that's legitimately writer's block and not just a 5-year-old inside of you going, I don't wanna. Real legitimate writer's block. You're not avoiding something, you're not ready to write. Here's the way I work with it. I do play guitar, love to make music, and I have a third of an acre here in East Tennessee that has, although I don't do the mowing anymore, I have a lot of garden work that I have to do, and I really, quite literally, I like getting grounded, get my hands in the dirt, in the ground, and that's, it's not a daily thing, but it gives me pleasure. But it doesn't stimulate my creativity. And with writer's block, you've got, your creativity is blocked. And the best thing I can tell you for that is this. If you're really dealing with writer's block, first off, let it go. Stop squeezing it. And just try to chill out about it mentally or emotionally, as things may be. And then go find something else creative to do. It could be anything. For me, it's gardening, mostly. And getting ready for this, creating various advertisements that I throw in social media and stuff like that. But the farther away I can get from writing in the computers and the screens, and go do something else creative, it seems like that kind of squeaks and opens things up a little bit with the creativity, and before long, I'm back to the ability to write. Another thing that I love to do creatively is making desserts. I experiment with baking all the time. I got a peanut butter cookie recipe that it's far out wonderful good, and it's only got 4 ingredients in it. Anyhow, so that's my advice to you. If you're really struggling with writer's block, go find something else creative to do and let your creative juices unblock in that other task. And I hope that works for you. Excuse me. Pardon me. Have any of you got any questions for me? No? Oh, come on. There's several of you out there listening to this. I don't want to end in 20 minutes of this thing. Let's try this. I'm still learning all this other stuff coming on. Mari Loves Books wants to go live together, so what happens if I press that little button? Invitation sent. Okay, well, like I said, I'm still learning these things. So, what else is going on? I'm setting up a number of places that I have. I had a friend of mine make me some single little bookshelf stands, and I've got 3 places so far who, once I get done with this county fair, I will be taking that book stand with Vernacular Duet and putting it in different bookstores and such. My assistant extraordinaire is working on the paperwork. You're familiar with a book franchise called Books A Million. they've got some interesting hoops to jump through to get your books into their businesses, and my assistant was working on that. She's funny. Autumn's mom and two dear friends of their mom split the cost to take her and her 1-year-old son on a Caribbean cruise and a visit to Disney World. And the woman is a bit of a control freak, and we work well that way. But she was not happy. She'd already planned a different vacation for herself and her son. But how do you turn down a Caribbean cruise? I couldn't do that unless I was really sick, and I'd have to be really sick. So she's got her stuff on hold. The fair's got me with my stuff on hold. But life is good. It's going to be, let's see, it's 77 outside at 20 after 12 Eastern Tennessee time. And there's a bit of a breeze. You probably heard the bells in the background. That's my big cathedral chime out back. And I'm really at a loss for anything else to say. So I think I'm going to probably move on from this and put my head back in things I got to do for the county fair. And I will probably, hopefully, see you next week. Again, Cranial Soup, Thursdays, high noon. Live video every Thursday, which is always going to be a challenge. There's going to be some fun, me trying to get this done after I made that promise. So y'all have a good day. I will wish you happy Friday Eve. This is a 3-day weekend, maybe a 4 for some of you. Be safe, have fun, hydrate, and put on the sunscreen. Oh, that sounds like a mom. I'm not a mom. I never had kids. My choice. Anyhow, that's it for this week on Cranial Soup. I hope you have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. And it won't turn off. There we go. And now.